Hello, let's have a conversation. What are you thinking at the moment? Are you following developments in this country, Finland? Have you been here for a year, 13 years, 20 years, 17 years? Were you born here? Is this the Finland that you always dream of? Well, I've been here for 37 years and I've seen things change in this country, but I've never seen anything that is officially programmed, officially intended to change the comfort we enjoy as a people, as a society, and as residents of society. What am I talking about? You probably know. You've been reading social media, you've been reading internet, you've been reading the issues on LinkedIn, people talking about the new government policies on immigration, on employment, on permits for residents, and you wonder what is happening. I was like myself. I'm like, excuse me, what do you mean? I mean, you see a right wing direction of this current government, and there was a deadlock on how to even form the government. You got the basic things in the majority. You got the coalition parties also following, and then you got the Christian Democrats who are on the urge, and you got the other opposition. You need to have a strong opposition. Now, this is what the situation is. We have a situation where Finland is divided into three different kinds of people or groups. You got those one who are pro-immigrant or pro-immigrations. You got those who are anti-immigrant or anti-immigration. They don't want to do anything but new people coming to the society. And you got those who don't care, they're indifferent, because as long as it doesn't affect them, they're okay. But that has changed because the current situation we are in tells us that we are heading for disaster if we don't check our facts. Now, there is an understanding that immigrants are a burden, a nuisance, or a liability to society. Now, this has been going on for many years. It's all over Europe. But hold on. Imagine if you heard a lie so many times, say 1,000 times. What happens to that lie? Because it's repeated so often, it becomes ingrained in your mind and you believe it. It is a lie that has been believed to be true. And why does this happen? Simple, because there has been no alternative narrative. And even if there is another narrative, it has never been told as it is. And you realize there's been a series of demonstrations for skilled laborers, highly educated people who live in Finland, who are from different countries. They've been going to the streets protesting. There's also been companies that have put out statements against the new government regulations or proposals. These are positive stuff. We need to have these conversations going on. But I'm here to tell you that I personally think that this government or this new government either does not understand economics or do not have economists who understand economic relations, or the fact that they just are bad economists. First of all, if you want to cut the hands that feed you, I'm surprised, how would you eat? We have a saying in the Sub-Saharan Africa that you cannot bite the hands that feed you. So let's assume immigrants are the backbone of this economy. We work in the postal industry, in the service industry, in the hotel management. We make beds, we clean boats, we deliver postal emails, mails. We build streets, construction. We work in the construction industry. We work in the shops. And without us, where would this country be? Let's imagine a scenario where every immigrant in whatever field you work, IT, engineer, doctor, nurses, sat down for 3 days against this proposal. That because this proposal is anti-immigration, anti-immigrants, and it's going to make things difficult for immigrants, we will not go to work for 3 days. Let's see how that will impact the Finnish economy. There'll be nobody in the office to clean the office that you go to work. There'll be nobody on the boat to clean the boat that you're going to travel to Sweden or Denmark or Estonia or St. Petersburg or wherever. There'll be no one to clean the plane that you'll be flying on to go to Jakarta tomorrow. There'll be no one to clean the airport where you'll be sitting in the lounge, the business lounge that would take you to Japan or to China to a meeting or to Chicago or to Silicon Valley. Imagine there'll be no immigrant security at the border check because they've protested. How many Finns will be available to work in the postal industry, in the hotel cleaning room, or in the shops, or in the construction companies? Who is going to be there to serve you the food in the restaurants? Who's going to be cooking in the background for the sushi you're going to eat, or the Chinese kung fu po you're going to eat? Imagine this. So we're talking about a life of people who contribute to our existence. We cannot sit down and allow what's happening to go on. What we need to do right now is to create an immigrant integration implementation policy group, a group that will set up proposal and say that we need to incorporate immigrants in this country so that we realize that what we are doing is equally important to the growth of Finland and the prosperity of Finland. I think if it doesn't happen in your backyard and you don't react, you are now on for a new game. This is a time to think that immigration is not bad for Finland. On the contrary, immigration has been the thing that has made Finland what Finland is. Nokia, for example, if you remember, worked on engineers who were not Finnish alone. They were engineers from India, from China, from Africa, Ghana, Nigeria, Liberia. Software engineers who worked in Nokia and made Nokia great. The moment Nokia began to feel that they had reached the game, it began to fall apart because they began to treat immigrants or the subcontractors who were from different countries with a different sort of a method. And that killed the company. Today, Nokia is no more what Nokia was, connecting people. Now this government wants to disconnect people. So what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to sit down or accept what's happening? I think it's time now to begin a conversation about the conversation that is happening. I ask you to keep tuned because the next time we're going to be discussing exactly what affects you in this society and how can we together collaborate to create a better Finland. Look forward to the next episode. Until then, adios.